Before time began, there was the cube.
Man, I miss Telltale. They weren't the best company, in fact, they had a whole bunch of issues, but when Telltale was at its best, they provided some of the greatest stories ever told in gaming. I'm sure you don't need to be reminded of what happened to Telltale, but in case you do, here's a rundown. Telltale Games, started by ex-LucasArts devs, made episodic adventure games being founded in 2004 and getting shut down in 2018 due to many varying factors. Oversaturating the market, spreading the developers too thin, all while spending loads of money licensing popular IPs. Since then, Telltale has resurfaced, but in the time after their arrival, they've put out one game and teased another game. That being The Wolf Among Us 2, which has been in development hell for a while now. But out of all the pain and suffering this studio has gone through, comes a new dev team called Ad Hoc Studios, who is a team that's made up of people that used to work at Telltale and were previously tasked with helping in the development of Wolf Among Us 2. Most importantly, this studio is helmed by Nick Herman, who before this directed some of the most beloved Telltale games. So now, Ad Hoc has published their first game in partnership with Critical Role called Dispatch, a superhero workplace comedy separated into two sections, the usual Telltale gameplay of making tough choices under a limited time, and the Dispatch gameplay of choosing which of your heroes is right for the task that pop up all over the city. This game really caught my eye when it was first shown off at the Game Awards, and I'm happy to say that not only has it lived up to the hype, but it's also one of my favorite games of this year. So let's get into why you should play Dispatch. Before we get into all the reasons I like this game, I should mention the one thing I think this game should have had that would have improved it. A game over screen. I get this game is going for more of a visual novel style rather than a point-and-click adventure, but I feel like there should have been a little bit of pushback. I'm not asking for the game to be more difficult or anything, I just feel like there should be some consequences for failing the gameplay sections. Plus, considering how funny and creative this game is, I feel like this team could have come up with some really great game over screens. But, other than that, I love this game. Starting with the thing that got everyone talking about it, the voice cast. It's pretty strange. Having big name stars like Aaron Paul and Jeffrey Wright, professional voice actors like Laura Bailey and Matthew Mercer, and just straight up YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and Moist Critical. And the most bizarre thing about all of this is that all of the voices fit. Sure, some performances are clearly better than others, but everyone's voice fits their character perfectly. And the performances are helped out greatly by the phenomenal writing and storytelling. Like I said before, this game was mainly directed by Nick Herman, and man do I miss this level of writing. It's not all amazing, as there are some lines here and there that are either cringeworthy or just don't make sense, like in what world is this a dad bod? But for the most part, the writing can be incredibly funny, but also heartfelt and dramatic when it wants to be. I also really liked the gameplay, not only the choices, but also the dispatching sections themselves. It's oddly satisfying sending out the right hero for the right job, and it honestly made me consider picking up some other games that use this style, like the This Is the Police games, which this is apparently very similar to. But speaking of choices, I saw a lot of people online saying that the choices really don't matter like the other Telltale games, and you can only change a few things. While that is true, I think there's a little more to it than that. Your choices only have a minor impact on story, but they majorly affect gameplay. For example, minor spoilers, in one of the early episodes, you're told that you have to cut one of two characters on your team, and how difficult your next shift will be is dependent on who you cut. There are multiple moments like this, and it adds a lot by interweaving gameplay with story. I've seen this game described as a playable show, but it's so much more than that. It's a show that uses the interactive nature of the medium of video games to elevate its narrative, and that's what makes it so special. In summary, I love Dispatch. It's definitely in my top 5 games of this year. I don't know where yet, but it's there. I hope Ad Hoc learns from Telltale's mistakes and takes their time with their next game, which is based on Critical Role. I also hope that whatever Telltale themselves is planning to do with The Wolf Among Us 2 is worth it, because now they have some pretty big competition. Basically, what I'm saying is, you should play Dispatch. That's all I got for now. The next review should be Frankenstein, so if you're interested in that, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video.
Alright, that's about it. See ya.